Hey everyone, and welcome to the week one preview of the 2023-2024 season. Joel Gibson returning this year. I am so excited. As always, I'm your commissioner. I'm your current champion. Here's the trophy. It's always next to me. Just so everybody knows, it's always next to me. And Joel Gibson, a lot of fun things this year. I am so excited to be back. I've literally been counting down. The worst thing about shooting this video on Sunday is we still gotta wait a whole Monday. It is stupid. I hate that they start on Tuesdays every year. Just start on Monday. Just start on Monday. I don't understand why we can't do that.
I don't really understand that either, because it also makes for a wonky week one.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen some crazy upsets week one for no reason, and that really might affect the playoff structure at the end of the year. So week one's always a shake, but I tell you what, we'll start with the reigning champs matchup. Now, before we get into this, I must announce, just before we started this video, Jake and Cody reached a trade. Now, Jake is going to receive Suggs in a first-round pick, my first-round pick, in fact, for 2025. And Cody is going to receive OG and Anunoby. I know Jake was trying to clear some cap. I had a conversation with him today. Now, as far as the trade goes, before we get into the matchup, Joel Gibson, I want to say two words to you, okay? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Rookie mistake. Rookie mistake from Jake. And here's why. Basically, if you're going to trade for a first-round pick, and we saw this year in the rookie drafts how thin they get, especially around pick 10 to 12-ish, you're just kind of throwing darts and hoping one hits. Trading for my pick when I'm this strong, and again, injuries, a lot of things can happen. I'm not saying that it's 100%. I have a strong team that's likely going to perform well in the regular season, and that's what matters. I don't know that I'm trading my pick, and I don't know that I'm giving up OG Anunoby, arguably top 50, maybe even top 40. We have no idea. I'm all for clearing cap, but I'm probably not trading him for a shooting guard that is in a competition with 6 other dudes in Orlando. What are your thoughts?
I have 2 other words for you. Can you guess what they are?
Markelle Fultz.
Yeah, baby, that's it. It's Markelle Fultz.
Yes, we are on it tonight already. This is the second time we've been able to guess what we were. Oh, this is awesome. This is great. I love being back, dude. That means
he's coming in hot. He's going to be a top 10 point guard this year and possibly a most improved player of the year. So it's going to be hard for Suggs to get the ball, but I actually do like Suggs, kind of long term.
Me too. Like I said, I don't necessarily hate it as much as I hate the pick. Cody had other firsts, I believe, that were on the table. And if I was giving up a top 30 player, I would have went for the option of best of Cody's firsts. I wouldn't have just given one. I would have said I want the option at your first for that year. That's more than fair. And I think that it's just one of those things where we go back to those 2 words, rookie mistake. Now, I want to say another 2 words, and that is rookie loser, because he's playing Mr. Modest this week, and you do not want to find yourself playing Mr. Modest on any given week, okay? We're going to start on Tuesday with, Joker and Booker. That's how we start the matchup, okay? My pick is I'm going to start winning on Tuesday. I will not relinquish the lead on any of the days, and I will win this matchup.
I also am going to pick you. It is tough as a rookie to come in and go up against champ, but that's what Jake's got to do. But like I said, I'm going to pick you. Jake and I are going to go see a Cavs game this week, though, and see some ball in action. It should be a good time.
I can't wait to. I better get a report back from you guys, especially from the game. Like seeing Halliburton's going to be really awesome. So I'm really jealous about that. Still seeing Garland, Mobley growing. There's so many good players. So I don't blame you for going to see that. Miles Turner, I know you don't want me to leave him out. So that being said, I hope you guys have a great time. Moving on to the next matchup, and for me, this is matchup of the week. It's going to be Phil at Joel Gibson. Now, I've ranked Joel at the number 2 spot. Phil is also really good. I think 2 through 5 are extremely close. I might have a little bit of an edge, but that's probably bias at the 1 spot. So I'm really interested to see how these matchups shake out. Phil on the road. Man, this is tough. This is a put up or shut up for Joel, though, in my opinion, because he's ranked himself up here at number 2. He thinks that he's already rebuilt the team that he set out to rebuild last year. He thinks they're ready now. I think I like Phil's veterans here. I am going to go for the upset only because I will give Joel the added opportunity to say I was wrong. I hope Phil cycles the shit out of Joel Gibson, makes him make some decisions, and let's see how this goes. Go Phil.
Phil's got some pretty nice guys on his team. Someone like a Jordan Poole could have a massive impact, good or bad, on the week. And then he's also got just tons of blocks on the board with Porzingis, with Holmgren, with Davis, and JJJ. There's a lot of firepower there, and that's, of course, not including Luka.
And I also want to note there, I know you said the blocks issue, but that's also a category that you're strong in as well. So it's something where you and Phil going against each other, a lot of it is like fire and fire. You know what I mean? You guys are lined up as far as your categories and stuff like that. So it's going to be really interesting to see this matchup. I think it's going to be extremely close regardless. But boy, a TD from Halliburton to try to cancel out one of Luka's would be extremely big for you in this matchup.
For fucking sure. So I'm obviously going to pick me. But I'll be honest, this was not who I wanted to see in week 1 while I'm still feeling out the team.
I don't blame you. Next matchup we have 5-6 matchup, Cody at Matt. Now, with Cody's pick, I think he definitely got better here. Matt's without Jaw. For me, I think Cody wins this one. And I think this is also going to be a game where people realize, like, Cody's not a joke either. He might have a lot of young. He's been rebuilding as well. He still has a stockpile of picks. He's shown he's going to use them to try to win now. So I'm extremely interested to see if Cody can have a strong start, because I think that even incentivizes him to be a buyer to try to win now. Matt is going to struggle the first, 4 or 5-ish weeks. So I'm going to pick Cody here.
Yeah, I'm also going to pick Cody. He is down Draymond Green, which is a not insignificant player to his win now team.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's enough. I think Jaw being down is too impactful for Matt. And frankly, I think Cody was deeper to begin with.
Yep, absolutely. The next matchup is Neiman, number 1 last year in the league before Mr. Modest cut that down, at Doug. So Doug has changed his picture to me as his team picture. It's not necessarily what you would call a flattering pic. My cheeks look huge. Like, I don't understand how my cheeks could look that big, but I look like I'm trying to, like, smuggle acorns in my cheeks. I don't understand how it is. I do love his name too. Better Call Ball. That's an incredible name. Neiman, this is what I talked about a little bit the season preview. A lot of question marks, and Doug has a lot of question marks too. A 9-10 matchup here. I'm gonna go with Doug as the home team. Ball's healthy. He also has SGA. I like his top and core a little bit better than Neiman, and that's all I'm going off of this week because I don't know what's going to happen with some of the bottoms on both of their teams.
Yeah, I find it fairly interesting that Neiman's keeping the powder dry on Kevin Porter Jr.
Still, $21.
I think it's safe to drop that guy considering he's not on a roster right now, right?
Correct. He's not signed anywhere. We don't know if he will be signed anywhere, and even if he is signed anywhere, well, where's he gonna go that's gonna get him even $10 of value? If I dropped him and somebody signed him for like $5-6, I would not be mad that they got that over him. I'm trying to clear that cap. And if he wants to win this year, start moving some assets. If he doesn't want to win this year and he just wants to stockpile, he clears that cap and then tries to bring in somebody that's overvalued, help them get below the cap. Maybe even bring in an old wily veteran or something like that to just, I don't know, get some assets, if you will.
Yeah. As for Doug, I think Doug, I agree, I think he also is going to win. It's unfortunate that we let him walk into Kobe White. I think that's going to be one of the better pickups this year, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see if Robert Williams plays. I think that Doug's team is ultimately just deeper, though. The one thing I was thinking about with his team is Miles Bridges. He sat on all last year.
I know.
We touched on this last week, but he's still on Doug's team. I don't know, man. I think I would be done with Bridges shit if I were him. But that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, it's taking up a roster spot.
$10.
$10, I know. I like Miles. I liked when he played. I certainly don't like him as a human being, just in case anybody was confused about that.
We thought it was the opposite.
Oh, well, good thing I had this opportunity to just go ahead and clear things up. It's just so tough. I get it with the pair with Ball. I understand where it's coming from, but until he has that roster spot that's like able to be used, I don't know how many teams he's going to beat, especially if anybody has a cycle strategy or anything like that. It just puts him behind the 8 ball right away. And when you're talking about the top 5 teams in the league this year, you can't afford to have somebody that's not playing a whole roster spot that's not used. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Doug here. I think that he could make the playoffs this year, even though we have him ranked at 10. But it's going to take some work on the roster. And like I said, a lot of questions have to be answered on both teams, if you ask me.
Agreed.
The next matchup is pretty much an easy one. We've got Adam, who finished second last year, runner-up, so close. Steven knows all about that. At CJ. CJ, it looks like Harden's going to play, and if that's the case, I'm going to just pick CJ. I think that at the end of next week, if Joel loses, CJ just might have that number 2 by the power rank. I don't see any reason why CJ loses this matchup. Adam kind of started a rebuild, if you ask me. I love Walker Kessler, but I think that CJ is just going to be too much for Adam.
Yeah, I agree. I think CJ, his top is just so dominant.
It's so scary, man. It's so scary. If they're all healthy for a full week or for a full 2 weeks in the playoffs, it's going to be a real problem to beat.
Yeah, this might be the worst week to play CJ, though. It's really hard to say. There's a lot of creaky old guys on that team, and Harden might just stop playing basketball at any. It might be right now.
Yeah, at any moment he could lose him. At any moment, I feel like Kawhi. At any moment, I feel like Curry. I just I am so nervous. And CJ has this house of cards, right? Where if just one card even shakes a little bit, the whole thing's gonna come crashing down. I don't hate it because he likely has a championship team here over a 2-week span. But it was the same thing we said last year where you and I were super high on CJ. We are again. It's just one of those things where one injury, it's over.
The other thing is his window to win is this year, next year, and the following?
Yeah. And there are teams that are getting better, like you, like Cody, like Phil, that are getting better, and they're in that top 5 right now. And you also have, the reigning champ who has just a nasty roster top to bottom. Especially Ben Simmons. I can't believe it took me this long to say Ben Simmons, but let me tell you, Ben Simmons is on the roster, ladies and gentlemen, and he is starting for the Nets, and he will be the most improved player this year. I don't know how we award that to him because he's a former All-Star, but compared to last year, I think he's going to improve the most. I think he is. That being said, like I said, I'm going to take CJ.
Yeah, taking CJ as well.
And do you have any comment on the Ben Simmons or no?
I was trying to tactfully leave out my Ben Simmons, but if you're going to put me on the spot, I'm really hoping that Colin Sexton has a better year than Ben Simmons.
Okay, Colin Sexton. I love it. And we decided he was definitely going to average over 16.5 points, right?
We're hoping.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Already shaking on the wager. I love it. Already shaking. We didn't even start. Last matchup here, we have Kyle versus Steven. Steven is still in the rebuild process. I like quite a few of his players. Kyle, he has Wemby, Scoot. He has a lot of upside players. It is early in the season. If you're going to beat Kyle in a wishy-washy cycle battle, it's going to be early in the season. Like I said, I think that Kyle is a playoff team. And Steven might not be there quite yet, but another year, like I said, he's rebuilding well. There's a lot of good young talent on his team. So we'll see what he can do this season. I'm going to pick Kyle to win, though. Steven, I'm sorry, bud.
Yeah, I love shitting on Kyle, and I love praising Steven. But unfortunately, I think Steven's working at his draft picks this year. So I am going to pick Kyle. Kyle's team will be put to the test in later weeks. Unfortunately, I don't think this will be the one.
Right. All right. Well, we zipped through that quite fast. That was only 19 minutes to get through the matchups. Look at us in mid-season form, Joel Gibson, already. I do want to say that I am dedicating this season to my son Oliver. I want to do it right now before we even start. I will have pictures with Oliver with the trophy. He's a little cranky today. Otherwise, I was going to make it the thumbnail of this video. But they will come. I just hope that one day he can watch this video. And if I end up winning this season, it'll be a cool moment. If it doesn't work out, everybody can make fun of me and all that. But if it works out, it'll be something special for him, I think. And we'll see. I mean, Stop laughing. You're making me laugh. I'm trying to do this. This is going to be a chance for a three-peat, a chance to tie Joel Gibson in championships, a chance to, bring everything full circle. And if I can do that and dedicate that season to my son, I want to do it. And so this one's for Ollie.
If you don't win this year, it means you're a bad dad.
That's true. That's very true. I worry because they talk about, dad powers and stuff like that in the league. Like, Freddie had dad power for 2 months there. It was insane. But Neiman lost in his dad power year. And he got burnt by somebody named Mr. Modest. I have no idea who that was. But every year I love eliminating Neiman from the playoffs. So please, Neiman, try to get that number 8. I'll get the number 1, and we can just run through the same script we do every year. I'll eliminate you, and we can all go home happy.
Well, we'll see what Kevin Porter Jr. has to say about
it. You're absolutely right. All right. Good luck to everybody this week. Another video next week. We are back, Joel Gibson. This is my favorite time of year. I get so fired up. Man, I'm just glad we get to watch NBA on Tuesday. I was watching preseason, just so excited, and I'm pumped.
We are almost back. We are one fucking day away.
One horrible Monday away from NBA being back. All right. Well, if anybody needs anything, let me know. Obviously, the Cody trade, that'll be processed before Tuesday's matchup, so they'll have them. And that's it. Good luck to everybody, and we'll talk to you next week. See ya.
Adios.